ISIS stooping to new lows. We'll talk about a disturbing new way that it's trying to indoctrinate children.
So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province. More Sunni volunteers are coming forward.
New evidence of the twisted indoctrination of children by ISIS. A video shows a group of more than 120 young boys given a sword and a doll and forced to practice beheadings. One 14-year-old who escaped spoke out about his ordeal, saying, quote, "They taught me how to hold the sword and they told me how to hit. They told me it was the head of the infidels." Well, Mike Baker is a former CIA covert operations officer who is now the president of Diligence LLC. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Sure, thank you.
So last year, ISIS overran towns in northern Iraq, as you know, and killed the Yazidi men, enslaved the women, and kidnapped the boys. And now we know the fate of these boys. They were taken to Raqqa, which is the so-called capital of the Islamic Caliphate in Syria, and they're undergoing this re-education and military training. We mentioned the video. It shows them practicing beheadings on dolls. One who escaped talks about brutal beatings and this heavy indoctrination. You're a CIA guy. What can be done to rescue these boys in these camps across the country and shut them down?
Well, I mean, the unfortunate simple answer is that the only thing to be done in that regard is to take back that territory.
Yeah.
We have to defeat them where they are. And right now, our strategy, is essentially putting us into a long stalemate. Where we've got limited air campaign, we're battling them or trying to start battling them on social media, etc. But until you actually destroy them on the ground and remove that caliphate, this problem, the problem of the lone wolf attacks that we see here in the U.S. and elsewhere, all of that's going to continue.
Yeah, ISIS controls a huge portion now of Syria and Iraq. These Yazidi boys were kidnapped. Other boys are being lured from street fairs. They're bribed with candy and soda. They're shown this propaganda. In the propaganda war, the U.S.-led coalition this weekend dropped leaflets over Raqqa, and they said, "Freedom will come." What exactly does that mean? I mean, we put that on a leaflet. What is the purpose of that?
Well, that's what they're all asking as they pick up the leaflets on the street. What does that mean? Look, you could argue that over the years we've been trying to sell democracy in Iraq and Afghanistan and elsewhere, and they don't necessarily know what it is that we're hoping they're going to buy. So I think dropping leaflets I mean, okay, I get it, I understand. You got to attack it on all the fronts possible, but it's just not going to work. Look, it's not just the captured youth. It's not just the Yazidis that you refer to. It's they've got Sunni children. Now there's not a clear number on how many kids, as an example, under 16 have joined Islamic State over the past couple of years, but it's in the thousands. And we know, documented from human rights groups, that at least this year alone there have been 8 reported cases of children under 16 being used as suicide bombers. There is no level of depravity that's too low for these people. You go to the bottom of the barrel for Islamic State, and then you scrape the bottom of the barrel, and what's underneath there, that's the Islamic State. So none of this should shock us, but the problem we're having right now is the fact that we don't want to put boots on the ground. We're all fatigued from that idea. But until we do, until the U.S. takes the pointy edge of the spear here and does the work, it's not going to happen. We can't wait. If we wait for some happy day when the Iraqi military is going to be able to take the fight to them and succeed, and we're going to be out from the background somewhere, providing limited intel and some limited air sorties, we're going to be having the same conversation, Patty Ann, a year or 2 years from now.
Well, let's hope not. Mike Baker, thank you as always.